Over the last 10 years of working in the philanthropic sector, I've personally had the privilege of working with hundreds of social change makers across the country on local, very small, rural projects, right through to large-scale global projects looking at human rights abuses in the sex trafficking area. So a lot of experience working with community foundations right through to private philanthropists, as well as working with small and large social enterprises and charities and businesses achieve their social missions. I've always believed in the power of ideas. They are what fuel the change in the world. And many of you might have seen on the promotions for today that I say, you know, an idea is only crazy until it's not. And I don't recall where I heard that. I think it might have been the founders of Google or one of those amazing businesses who actually started with a really crazy idea. And so often that's where it starts. And what I say about having a crazy idea is being aware of idea vampires. And we all have that experience in life of people that just want to suck the life out of a great idea that you have before it's even had a chance to just get along on its merry way and just see if there's something in it. An idea never remains static. An idea grows every day, and every moment that we see something helps shape our ideas. So whatever it is that you have as an idea today, just trust and believe that that idea is just going to grow and grow into something beautiful. So I'm just going to flip across now, if that's okay, to a couple of ways that you can, depending on where you're up to, is how to take some of those ideas into reality. So can you all see that okay? Give me a number 4 if you can see that okay. That would be great. Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. That's really helpful. 4. Great. Thank you. All right, fantastic. So let's flip across here into those ideas that you have in the back of your mind that keep you awake at night, or as you're driving down the highway, you're thinking, you know, how could I get something like this off the ground? So let's have a look at these now, shall we? So this in itself is a whole session that I could do with some really great examples, and perhaps we might do that another day together. But I've just got 5, and I couldn't help myself to choose 5 I words to actually give you something to take away from today. So the first thing I say there is to set an intention. It's often an obvious thing to note, but it is the best way to ensure that something will happen. The best thing to do with an intention is write it down and tell someone that you trust. And then that allows you to stay true to that intention. Whether your idea takes off this year or next year, it doesn't matter. And by way of example, one of my great industry friends, Bernadette Black, set an intention to make teenage parents a national priority. And I just want to tell you that yesterday, her foundation, the Brave Foundation, announced a $4.4 million funding package, partnership with the government, that will be helping scale her idea out across the country of making teenage parents a national priority. She set that intention a long time ago, and it is now coming to fruition in a major, major way. The second thing that I often say to people is don't underestimate the importance of insights, of information, of understanding the issue and giving yourself time to understand the issue. So in your instance, Mickey, with the domestic violence victims and helping them get their life back on track, it's about really understanding the issues. So that might be spending time with groups and leaders in this area to understand what might be the best thing that you can do, what might be the best role for you to play by getting that information. The other great thing is that having the time to gather insights helps you work out with your idea where you want to position that idea in either participating upstream or downstream of that issue. What do we mean by that? There's a great analogy that you might have heard about babies in a river. People run down to the river one day and see babies floating by in the river oh my goodness, and they start pulling the babies out of the river. One by one, quickly, more people come and pull the babies out of the river. And then 2 or 3 people look at themselves and say, why are the babies in the river? Why are babies floating down the river? And they go upstream and find out what is actually happening. In philanthropy in Australia, we're really encouraging a lot more people to go upstream if they can and look at the systems change around why are people homeless? Why are people experiencing family violence? And you might decide in doing some of that investigative work that you actually want to participate upstream or that you really want to participate downstream. So I hope that that helps you in terms of where you might on that spectrum participate, and that can change as well. You might start downstream and then you might move more upstream as you understand the issues more and the solutions more. In terms of gathering insights, these are 2 other I words that I love, is about creating more impactful philanthropy over impulsive philanthropy. And we'll talk more about impactful and impulsive philanthropy over time in the community here as well. The third thing there is to take the initiative to either participate in or drive collaborative efforts. Some of the biggest impacts that we are now seeing in philanthropy are coming from groups. Collective giving, impact groups are growing around Australia and around the world at incredible rates. Being able to pool your time and your money together on specific themes and focus areas is one of the most funnest ways, and I know that's not a real word, but it's one of the most incredible ways to participate in philanthropy. Giving in a group is also one of the best ways to ward off idea vampires because they don't like groups. There are more than 15 giving circles in Australia, and if you want to learn more about that, jump onto Philanthropy Australia's website where they list all of the different giving circles in different states around Australia. By way of an example, there's a number of Impact 100 models in Australia now where you can be a part of a program with 99 other people, all contributing $1,000 a year and creating a high impact grant of $100,000. It's not only a great way to give together, but it's a great way to learn about philanthropy and the issues. So maybe have a look at some of the Impact 100 models if that's a way that you might be able to start your journey in philanthropy or add to your portfolio of philanthropic activity already. The fourth thing there is about incubating your first few actions. So when I see people coming with an idea, sometimes they think that they have to set up a trust or a foundation, or they've got to go set up a social enterprise or set up a charity in order for them to actually test their ideas. And what we are now really encouraging people to do is try and find a place to incubate the idea first, that you don't feel you need to run off and spend a lot of money up front on creating an entity before you actually know, is this idea something that I really want to pursue? So start small. A great way to start small is incubating your philanthropy within your business, within your workplace, within your family, and looking around at other activities such as community foundations, which I've mentioned a couple of times. The other thing with incubating your first few actions is starting small with a very defined project or a defined partnership and just giving yourself an opportunity to test how it feels. Philanthropy is supposed to be an enjoyable activity. And I often say to people, don't do it if it doesn't feel good. Do you know, this is a part of our life to actually feel good. So look at that defined project. What results were we able to achieve? And is this a worthwhile activity to continue? The final thing there is really embracing in philanthropy this sense of an improvement mindset. People can be incredibly hard on themselves in philanthropy, in this whole area of social impact and social purpose, really, really hard on themselves. So I would encourage you, in terms of taking your idea into reality, is be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Be open to things not working, embracing failure. Philanthropy sits in this place in our country where we can take risks. We don't necessarily expect our government to take risks. Corporate and businesses can only take limited risks. But philanthropy is what a lot of people call the risk capital in our communities. So having that constant improvement mindset, being able to tweak and refine as you go along the way is really going to help you with enjoying your philanthropy and what it is that you want to continue doing in terms of a social mission.